Welcome to the Board Game Network. This is James. I'm going to be explaining the rules on how to play Niagara. Niagara is a board game. It plays 3 to 5 players, put up by Rio Grande Games, and it's actually underneath the board here. This is the way you set this board up. It's got a waterfall here for the Niagara Falls, and you put the top and the bottom of the box face up the inside down, and you lay the box or the board on top of the box, and that's the way you've got it set up. You put the cloud token here. You put 7 of each gem color in its corresponding space on the board. There's 5 different colors, so purple, white, yellow, blue, and pink. You take the life preserver and you give that to whoever the first player is going to be. Each player takes 2 canoes, and they take these paddle cards for their color. There's 7 of them. They have the numbers 1 through 6 and a cloud on them. Each player gets its corresponding color. Then the way you play this game is you play a paddle card face down in your spot. You get whichever spot on the board you want that's closest to you. And so once everybody has played a cloud or a paddle card, then whoever has the life preserver flips his over, and then he makes his move, and then the next person flips his over, he makes his move, the next person flips his over, takes his move. And then the paddle token moves to the next player. Now the way movement works is you move canoes out onto the river, and you have to move your full movement on these numbers on your paddle tokens. You can't move half or part way. You can't turn around on the river. This is all one direction. It's all downriver or all upriver. No moving up and then down or anything like that. If you've got 2 canoes on shore, you can only bring 1 out. If you've got 1 on shore, you can choose to bring it out, but anything that's on the river has to move, and it has to move based on your paddle card. So green moves 6, so let's pull it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that could be his move. And then red flips over, and 1, 2, 3, and blue comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now your goal is to be picking up gems along the shore. That's how you win the game, is to get some gems. But it actually costs 2 movement to pick up gems, and they have to be done either at the beginning or at the end of your turn, not in the middle of the movement. And you can't pick up and deliver on the same turn. So you can't pick up, move, and then deliver or unload on the same turn. So instead of that, I could have, for green, I could have went 1, 2, 3, 4 and taken 2 movement and put a white gem into my canoe. A canoe can only hold 1 gemstone at a time. So that would be a full movement for green. And then red could go 1, 2, 3, and it wouldn't have enough movement to pick up a purple. Blue could go 1, 2, 3 and spend 2 movement to get a purple. So that could have been the round there. And then you pass the life preserver to the next player. And then you go through your stack of paddle cards that you have left. You have to leave this one out and play something on top. And once again you play face down. Oh, you know, I forgot to move the river. You have to move the river. The river is flowing, and the way that works is it moves based on the slowest person's number. So there was a 3 played, and then you add the weather. So the weather is currently at 0, so 3 plus 0, it actually moves 3 spaces. So I take a clear disc, I push the disc until 1 has fallen off the end of the Niagara Falls, and I've made it past the rope here, and then 2, and then 3. So you'll notice the canoes are going farther downriver here, right, than what they had planned. And then you once again play your paddle tokens. And so a red is going to be first this time. Red is going to play a 2. So here's where you can pick up. The pink can pick up on these two, the blue can pick up on these two, the yellow here, the white here, and the purple here. So blue could spend, or red could spend 2 and grab a blue gem. And that would be his full move. And then he can choose to pull another one out here onto the river if he wants to. And then blue flips over. Blue only has a 1, so he probably just wants to go up river 1 space. And then green played a cloud. Now a cloud gets to move the cloud 1 space to the left or to the right, and it has to stay on here, so it can go anywhere from -1 to +2. So let's say, just for the fun of it, he wants to speed up the river for the fun of it. And so the smallest, so the round is over, the smallest number is a 1 and +1, so it would move the river 2. 1, 2, movement's over. The life preserver passes. You go like this for 7 rounds until all of your paddle cards have been played. Everybody's played through all of them. And once that happens, you get them back and then you start over with a new round of having all of the choices again. When you load or unload, you have to do it at the beginning or the end. You can't do it at both, I said that. And it costs 2 movement points. You cannot waste movement. So in other words, if you play a 6 up here, you have to use all 6. So if you're sitting here and you go 1, 2, 3 and you want to pick up a gem, that's 4, 5. You can't do that. You have to use all 6 somehow. The only time you can waste it is if you go up and you go past the rope with your boat. 1, 2, 3, 4 if you played a 6, and then you'd be on land. And if you had a gem in there, you would have saved that gem and then you put it over in your space. Or if you stop here at the dock, it actually doesn't cost to unload your gem at the dock. So for 0 movement, you can unload here and you stay on the river at that point. And then you can go back down on your next turn. Now there's another way of getting a gem that I haven't talked about yet. Let's say red sitting here with a gem on board, and blue is downriver, and blue moves up, and he moves up 1, 2, 3 spaces. Now to do this, you always have to be moving upriver, but you're stealing a gem from somebody else's canoe. And to do that, it costs no movement whatsoever. You have to end your space in a space with another canoe. They have to have a gem in it. You have to have an empty canoe. And then you can move their gem onto your canoe. So you always have to be going upriver, so they can't just take it next turn because they're not going upriver. It's not the end of their turn. It has to be the end of your turn. So that's how you steal gems from somebody. If a canoe goes over the end of the waterfall, if it's got a gem in it, it goes back into its starting position. The canoe has to be purchased back by the owner, and that costs 1 gem to purchase a canoe back. The only exception to that is if you've lost both canoes and you have no gems, you can have 1 canoe back for free. The winner now is the player who has gotten 1 of each color, so all 5 colors, 1 of each color, made it back to shore. So either brought it up here and got it onto land, or stopped at the dock and taken the gem off, gotten all 5 colors, or gotten 4 of the same color, or gotten 7 total gems. Once that happens, the game is over, but you go ahead and finish your round to everybody who's playing gets to finish their turn. And so it is possible to have a tie with this game. So that's how you play Niagara. It adds this unique twist of actually moving the pieces during the game. It adds a little bit of entertainment and fun to the game, so it's not just a thinking strategic game. It also has a little bit of randomness in there on which side of the Y there is going to fall off the branch. So once again, this is James with the Board Game Network. Tune in to all of our how to play board game videos.